So I do an after show that I call Last Call because, when you're drinking with your friends, at last call, you get introspective and touchy feely and a little woo woo. And you're starting to open up to the stranger at the bar that you've been chatting with all night. So I'm the stranger at a bar. I'm asking you all these questions. They're
Okay.
inspired by Inside the Actors Studio. Did you ever watch that show?
No.
Okay, so
I mean, I'm
Inside
familiar
the
with it, but didn't watch it. I know the premise.
Okay. Yo, you were probably a little young. So it was because are you and I are about the same age? Yes?
I was
Yes?
born in 82.
Okay, so you're even younger than me, which is why you didn't watch it. Okay. So I watched it, but I was a little older and it was like reruns by the time that I was watching it. It was an interview show where the host, James Lipton, interviewed stars from Hollywood, directors, et cetera, et cetera. And he at the end always asked the same questions. So I've taken those questions, which are known as the pivot questionnaire, and I've created a dog questionnaire or a pet related, excuse me, it's not just dogs, pet related questionnaire. And I'm going to ask you these questions, which I ask all of my guests at the end of our
Okay,
show.
great.
All right. Favorite breed? And it
Border
doesn't have to
Collie.
be dog. It doesn't have to be dog, but obviously you love a border collie.
I love a good Border Collie. Always been my breed. But if I had to pick a breed of cat, I would say Ragdoll. Oh my gosh. If I ever had a
Gorgeous. Oh my
purebred cat, I would
gosh.
get a Ragdoll. I would get
Oh
a
my
Ragdoll
gosh.
in a heartbeat.
So I am not I'm not big on buying from breeders, and obviously I want to support shelters, but there are some purebred cats that are just so cool. And
They're
Ragdoll's just
phenomenal.
one of them. Yeah.
And I've never had a purebred cat. I've always had domestic short hairs and they're
Yes.
lovely.
Yes, they are. All right. Least favorite breed.
Uh Least favorite breed of dog. I'm gonna offend all my clients with this breed. I don't know. Anything that's a oodle.
Oh my gosh,
Because it
it's so
because it's
funny
not a
because there's like a tie. It's a tie. This question is a tie. I've done this maybe like 10
uh,
times. This is like my 10th episode or something that I've recorded. And it's either a chihuahua or a doodle that people don't like.
I'm so over all the oodles. But
That's
unless
so
it's a poodle,
funny.
and then I'll take a good poodle any day. Like a real
Well,
poodle. Like a
they're super
standard poodle.
smart. So that probably makes
Yeah.
your life really easy as a trainer to deal with
Oh
the
yeah.
smartest dog ever.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. So this is an interesting one because you have kind of a lot of people in your home right now. Do your pets sleep in your bed?
Absolutely not. And even when we were just married and no kids, because we were married for what, 11, 12 years before we had kids. No, my dogs don't even sleep in my bedroom at all. They've always slept in the living room on their bed. And now that we have a toddler, they sleep kenneled because that's the safest option.
Very good. That makes me feel good because yeah, no, I don't let my dogs sleep in my bed and I bed share. So it's dangerous for me to
Yeah,
actually have my dogs in
yeah.
my bed with my 11-month-old baby. Who or what wakes you up in the morning?
So Jack, my 3-year-old son, definitely wakes me up in the morning, and he sometimes he sleeps all the way through the night, which is great, and then other times he'll wake up around like 3 or 4 a.m. and he'll come from his room into our room, and he's really good now at like quietly coming in, so you don't even hear him come in, and he crawls up the middle of the bed, and then we wake up because he's trying to get you to tuck him into the covers, right? So we wake up like for 2 seconds, get him under the covers, and then at like 6:37 a.m. he wakes you up because he starts whispering. He's like, "Is it morning time? Morning time?" And I'm like, "Almost, Jack, almost." I'm trying to sleep, and he's like, "Okay, okay, it's still dark. It's still dark. Yes, okay." And then 5 minutes later, "Is it morning time?"
Oh, that's so cute. Noah does not whisper anything. He wakes up and goes, "Papa!" That's like he calls out for my husband in the most aggressive way ever, and Chris is
Loud.
like, "Shh." So yes, you did a much better job training your children or your child than I've done with mine. And Mila is still hopefully easier to train. I'm gonna start. She's 11 months. I feel like I can start now
Awesome.
getting really serious about it. All right. This is an interesting one. What is your most used training command or cue at home?
For my dogs,
Yep. Or your child, whatever, or both.
Um, for my dogs, probably go kennel. And I don't always close the door to the kennel, but if I need them out of the way, I just go kennel, and they run over there and get in their kennel. So it's kind of the equivalent of a move, like a move out of the way command,
I
but
love
I
it.
like them to go to a specific spot.
Perfect. Okay, cool. What is your least used training commander cue? Something that you don't use, that you don't need, that people use.
Um, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I kind of use all of my commands and cues evenly when they're appropriate. Um, I guess I don't use no very much. I mean, that's a cue, but I don't have to
Mhm.
because I'm proactive. So I don't really tell my dogs no because I don't need to do it.
Yes. And that's actually something that I tell my husband, that whole tell them what you want from them, not what you
Yes,
don't want from them. I use that
correct.
with the toddler and with the
Yes,
dogs.
absolutely. You want to avoid a meltdown? Say what you want, not what they can't do.
Right. Exactly. And it's always easier to be like, oh, that's what you want from me. Like, okay, you're telling me I can't do this, but you're not giving me any options. So tell me what you want
Right.
from me. Let me meet you halfway. Awesome. What pet related noise do you love?
Ooh, do I love? I love like a growly, it's kind of like a growly yawn when dogs are excited to see you and they kind of go like, "Ow,"
Oh,
like that.
I love that. Yes, I
The
know
best.
exactly what you're saying.
And maybe they stretch and they kind of squeak at the same time. That's the best.
And what is your least favorite pet related noise?
Licking, like licking their leg or their paw or something. And my dogs won't do it very often because I go, shh, stop it.
I have a
They know
border
that's,
collie that does it when she's just generally nervous. She's an anxious
uh-huh.
dog, and she'll just like lick
I like it.
incessantly from under the bed when she used to sleep in our room, and it was just like, Kira,
Yeah, can't do
enough.
it. Can't do the licking. Chewing, I can do. Like if they're chewing a bully stick or something, like I can deal with chewing. Oh, the other thing I hate, if a dog has like a cow hoof and they keep dropping it like on the tile over and over. I'm like, oh my God, like stop. Like I'll go take it away. I can't handle it. Like the repetitive like clink, clink,
Yep,
clink,
yep.
clink.
Yeah, it's just an
Eh,
annoying sound that gets in your head.
can't handle it.
Absolutely. All right. So you are a dog trainer and an entrepreneur and an influencer in the pet industry. What other job that you haven't done in the pet industry would you consider like a nice thing to try? Maybe one day, maybe not.
Oh goodness. Well, I did my MBA at the University of Miami, and one of my favorite classes by far, doing my master's in business, was my Six Sigma classes. So if I had another career, I think that's your question, right? If I had
Well,
another,
within the industry, though,
oh,
within
within
the
the
industry.
industry. Oh, well, I could do this one within the industry. I mean,
Okay.
I would basically do operations management. So I could do consulting for other pet businesses to basically get their operations in order because I
Yeah.
love any kind of supply chain management, process, procedure, operational. Like I love
Yeah.
that.
Like scaling their business as a coach,
Yes.
basically.
Yep. Yep. I
Ooh,
would do
you'd
it.
be really good at that. You would
I
be
would do it.
very, very good. Awesome. Okay. What pet related job or career profession would you never want to try?
Well, I don't think I could be a veterinarian. I have a lot of empathy for vets because I think they get a bad rap a lot of the times, and people just do not understand what they have to go through and what they have to deal with. And for those who aren't familiar, like the veterinary profession has one of the highest suicide rates of any of the other, pet related industry pros. And I'm like, rightfully so because of the things they have to deal with. Like, I
Yeah.
just don't think I could handle that. So, I did an internship actually right out of college at an all cat practice, and I found euthanasia of people's pets incredibly difficult. And I only did that for a summer, and it was cats. It wasn't even dogs, but I couldn't handle that, and I would never want to wear that hat. I just like I love my veterinarian to death. I don't want to do that.
I agree. And it's actually a popular response to this question because most of us in the industry recognize just how hard they work for sure.
Absolutely.
Last question. If the Rainbow Bridge exists, who is the first pet to greet you when you arrive?
Oh, my dog Zoe. My border collie, one of my border collies, is a black and white border collie. That's such a great question.
And what makes her special? What was it that makes her stand out?
Well, she was the first dog that I trained out when I got out of college, when I decided I wanted to be a professional. So, although she wasn't my first dog, like in my life, she was the first dog that I went on my professional training journey with. And although didn't get to train her to as high of a level as I did my next dog, because she was kind of the dog I made mistakes on, right?
Right.
My next dog, a Labrador, was like the most incredibly trained dog I've ever had. Because I'm like, okay, I figured it out with Zoe, and now Oxford's going to be perfect. But she's what people would call your heart dog. You know, it's just like
Yes.
that dog that like looks at you, and you're just so connected. And she was just lovely and just perfect out of the box. Like if you never trained that dog to do anything, she would have still been perfect.
Oh, that is awesome. What a tribute to her. I love it. So you have made Zoe very proud. I want you to know.
I hope
All
so.
that you learned with her and all that you've shared with us, I'm telling you, I'm a fan, Doggy Diva. I am a fan. And so thank you
Thank
so
you.
much